Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. This is an 18 and up venue, a scene from Salem by Night. So, all you little people, like my little sister who is too young to be watching this, need to go to bed. This scene will be taking place instead of at the nightclub. The Queen is informed she's in the Spring Court freehold and is giving you access to the community garden where they accept visitors into their spring area. So basically, for those watching, our two viewers, it basically means it's like the diner for the autumn court. It's where they greet visitors, they deal with court work that needs to be done in public and not private. And I'm sure Claudio has seen every inch of this building and the garden, little fenced
Every
area.
inch, especially the rose garden. Excuse me.
Yes, one of your favorite NPCs that sometimes visits from Mississippi's been hanging out there, but that's for a later story arc. So,
Go on.
Rose has received the text telling her the gate is unlocked. She may arrive whenever she wishes before dark.
Before dark. Okay.
Before dark.
So.
P.S. Hope you don't mind hip hop.
No, she doesn't mind hip hop. She'll text back. No, I don't mind hip hop. She'll look to Claudio.
And I'm sure Claudio knows he was invited along for the report.
Yep.
I'm sure he also wants to put his 2 cents in on the whole situation.
He feels #blessed. Let's be real.
Someone's making his job easier.
He's making sure to bring his smile along this time.
Fucking smile.
He's trying.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he has Rose right there, so.
So,
helps.
As you get out of whatever vehicle you take to get here, at the gate you can hear hip-hop music and movement through the gate.
So Rose will follow the sound through the gate.
I'm sure Claudio's... Well, I don't think Claudio smokes, so he's probably chewing gum.
He does. Claudio smokes.
Oh, for some I must be thinking about a different character that starts with a C then. That doesn't.
Claudio very much smokes, and he is currently. Oh, Lord.
Fucking Lucio. So when you get there, the Queen is sitting there, very prim and proper, sipping her tea at one of the little park tables. And in front of her is a girl who looks somewhere between 19 and 21, looks Asian descent, unless you know how to tell them apart. That just sounded kind of racist, didn't it?
Yeah.
Only a bit, but I understand what you're saying.
Thank you. And the girl's like combining breakdancing and ballet in front of the Spring Queen. You're actually kind of getting the urge to dance along as she dances.
So that's very interesting, and Rose will watch. Probably move to the music a little bit.
As soon as the younger woman pirouettes and notices you both, she'll stop, turn the music off, lean over and kiss the Spring Queen on the cheek, and be like, "I'll see you later, mother," and walk off with the stereo. I actually didn't know that character did that, so that character and Rosu could totally get along. Which the Spring Queen will sit her cup down, gesture towards the other 2 empty chairs for you.
Rose.
Claudia will sit down.
As will Rose.
She'll smile at Claudio and she goes, "I hope you don't mind tea with honeysuckle," and pour him a glass or cup.
You're looking exceptionally blessed tonight.
Oh my, you just know how to speak to a woman, don't you?
Oui, mademoiselle.
Oh, Mr. Donati, you best be careful you do not wish for the queen to swoon.
He gives her the most precious smile.
She raises an eyebrow at Rose.
Rose is smiling to her.
So, did you retrieve the information I asked you for, Miss Black?
Lucy was going to say something, and then he closes his mouth.
Rose will look over at him.
I forgot it's not Donati yet, my dear. I'm sorry.
she grins.
Oh, so the rumors of you two being lovers are true.
Oh, well, engaged, yes.
Oh,
She'll nod.
like,
Very much.
if you ever wish to rent a room at the club for your event, please let me know.
Oh, I'll let our planner in on that bit of information. He'll nod.
Because Donati totally wants to rent a party room from a bondage club.
Totally. It's on his bucket list right under visit North Korea.
Okay, so she's just smiling. She served you tea. Rosu's come back and put little bitty tea cakes on the table and slipped back off.
He's not so goddamn paranoid that he thinks that she'd poison him, so he does eat it and drink it. Like, he ain't that bad.
Do you know what mooncake is?
Out of character? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just asking if your characters would know what it was also.
Oh, Rose, absolutely.
Yes, because that's what's served. Is a lovely Chinese dessert called mooncake.
She has etiquette out the fucking ass. She knows what.
They serve it very frequently around my area.
Out of character note, wasn't sure, and I've had to explain it to other players what it is before because they were thinking it was like the special cake you can get in Amsterdam.
Oh,
Well,
I mean,
no, you
anyway.
can find them very, very frequently around here.
Sweet. All right, I don't have to explain it.
Nope.
So yeah, Rose will drink the tea and eat the mooncakes, and then she will look to the queen. She will say, "Yes, I have the information you seek."
Well, then, I would love to hear what it is.
She smiles and she looks around, make sure there's nobody else around.
Just the young girl that she called Rosu, who is standing by the gate, making sure no one comes in now.
Okay. So, Lucio's fear is actually of dying.
Well, that makes sense with some of the things I've seen that man do over the years. Well, that wasn't too hard, now was it?
She smiles.
Let me see. And she motions Rose to hold her arm out.
She holds her arm out.
She will proceed to fiddle with the bracelet as you see the flower charms close back up and it fall from your arm.
She smiles. Thank you.
Not a problem. A pledge kept is a pledge honored. You should never break your word to anyone here.
Of course
And I'm
not.
glad to see you haven't. She kind of looks at Claudia. And I'm sorry to have gone around your betrotheds. Engaged. what's the current word for it? To Claudio.
I'm sure I would not presume to know more than the Queen does. I will give you a moment to find your words.
Your fiancé's back about this. Perhaps I can give you both a boon to make amends for it.
Most gracious, Your Highness.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
So, besides giving you a position of working with our emissary to Autumn, you being from Autumn to us, what other boon could I offer you? Simply ask.
Well, although I have been appointed the position of Luch, he can't say his name with a fucking straight face is what it is, and he's trying. I've been appointed as Lucio's consort. He also wanted me to maintain my position as High Circe, but I actually think that Rose's best friend would be better suited for the position. To be honest, chasing after Lucio is going to be a handful. On top of that, having to see to the orders of the court, he'll shrug. I can't do both. Not and maintain the court properly. It would be wrong of me to try to pull out on my shoulders. So, if you could accept Jeremy Christensen as the High Circe of the Spring Court, I would consider it such a dear favor.
She sips her tea as he speaks, sits her cup down. Choose smooth words for a man of position.
You deserve only the finest silk, Your Majesty.
Not in front of your fiancée, dear.
Oh, I promise you she would not mind.
She raises an eyebrow and she goes, yes, but my morals intact, I would mind.
Shh. Puts a finger to his lips. Go on.
Rosu has it totally by the gate just covered her ears and earphones and put her hands over her eyes. Oh dear, I think my daughter knows me too well. I can't 100% promise he has the position yet. I would like to meet him first before I agree.
Well, I can easily call him.
That would be great. Well, wonderful. By the way, with her speech patterns, it is very obvious you have no idea what timeline she was taken in, because she uses both antique and modern lingo.
He'll pull his phone out and he'll hold his finger up for a moment, like asking for a moment, not hold it up for a moment. And he'll text Jeremy asking if he can come to the Spring Gardens.
So, Miss Black, while we wait, have you met Mr. Lucio's daughters and son yet?
No, I have not met them yet.
Well, if you start a school here, I would suggest talking to his oldest, Dawn, for she's fairly well off in computers and self-defense and stuff like that. She's a good option, and I hear she's looking for a job. And I'm sure you're like any woman, you love cute little bubbly babies. And his son and other daughter are about to be a year old. I actually had to check my notes, OOC, to see exactly how old the damn babies were going to be.
It'd be about a year old, you're right.
She smiles and nods.
And I'm sure Claudia will be seeing plenty of Dawn around, since the last time I saw her in Salem, she was taking everything out of Lucio's house. She put it, her father will stay sober, and I think she left him with just bare essentials. I kind of wonder who the parent is there. She's just smirking at the two of them. Sorry, viewers, our players are kind of quiet now because they're plotting on my ass.
Yeah, we're totally plotting.
I got a Twitter message
That's gonna
from
be
a player
funny.
asking why it's being so quiet.
Because there's gonna be something funny. It's gonna happen.
So
Proceed gaily forward.
yeah, she's just chit chatting. If they ask any questions about her, she'll happily answer them. Rozu is very, very confused watching all of this. Rozu even mutters a couple times how her mom keeps getting all the men and women in town. She's like, so I'm sure you've had plenty of rumors. You've heard of me. To Claudio. If you're going to serve spring in the city with Lucio and I, let's clear the air of any issues you may wish to make sure clean.
He smiles.
For example, I will apologize right now for putting a token that would have killed Rose on her.
My dear, I'm just trying as hard as I can to run as far away from New York as possible.
Oh, what happened in New York?
He damn near glares at her.
She genuinely looks very curious, as if she has no idea what happened.
I'm sure the rumors will make themselves to you eventually.
I prefer the truth over rumors, dear. Much more powerful.
Well, the truth is devastating. And I prefer the rumors.
She'll put a second slice of cake in front of him. Well then, in Salem, everyone has a chance to be a new person. Let's just hope the pain does not follow.
So about that time, actually instead of
Yeah,
I'll
bring
just go ahead and
into the city.
I'll put his overlay in the forefront for a minute. So Jeremy comes walking up to the gate.
Claudio, upon
You guys have actually made the muse Kith fall on her ass.
So Claudio looks like he's gonna have a fucking heart attack for a moment and gets up quickly.
Rose looks over at him. Are you okay?
What are you doing here?
Jeremy furrows his brow. Just asked me to come to the garden.
You must be Jeremy. I'm the Spring Queen. A pleasure to meet you. And she'll extend her hand as her daughter's like right behind her, like, Mom, you're embarrassing me. He just got here.
He nods and Rose will get up and go over to him and they'll hug very briefly.
Yeah, Claudio just sits back down. Swallows.
Jeremy furrows his brow and he'll extend his hand to Claudio and he'll say, "It's nice to meet you in person."
Yeah, his hand is cold. Like the blood is draining to his core.
Oh, well, I've introduced you to everyone else. This is also my daughter.
Lovely to meet you.
He'll nod to her, extend his hand. His touch is, despite being spring, is a little bit cool as he is a metal flesh. His metal is primarily silver.
She shakes his hand first, and then afterwards she'll bow to him and she'll say "Konnichiwa."
He understands her, and he'll nod and give a bow back. Konnichiwa.
Yep. So she's actually sitting with you guys and paying attention now, fully.
And then he will bow to the queen, your majesty.
Have you ever served as a high circe before?
Yes, I was high Circe in Miami until like a week ago, if that.
Why did you leave?
Because my best friend asked me to, that she needed my help. He looks at Rose and gives her a grin, and she smiles back to him and nods.
Do you take any illicit substances?
No. And I'm a recovering alcoholic, so I don't drink either.
She nods. If I asked you to cut my daughter's throat right now in the name of spring, would you?
Not without just cause.
Rosa looks terrified. I like him. He'll do. I don't need yes men in this court. I need people who speak honestly and stand for what we truly should represent.
Oh, then you've definitely found the right man for that job.
I will warn you. She looks at Claudio. Claudio, warn him of the Spring King.
So Rose tries so hard not to just die laughing, and he just smiles softly and looks to Claudio. Yes, please warn me of the Spring King.
Claudio looks at him and says, Lucio Vargas is the most offensive fiend I have ever met in my entire life, and one of these days he will probably die upon my blade. Not today, though. He'll nod.
He will nod to him and smile.
Rosa says, not to sound improper in polite company, his exact words were, if my tits were bigger than Jules, he might fuck me.
He'll nod.
Wow.
The queen is now looking at her daughter and she goes, when was this? Like, when he first came to town, she's like, oh, okay, you were legal then, never mind.
Claudio just nods, like, yep. There's our Spring King.
Jeremy nods and smiles.
Something you and the king will have in common is he is also a recovering addict, which is why I wished you to be warned of him.
Oh, God. Claudio pinches the bridge of his nose.
Is he?
Miss Rose, there is a lady I would like you to talk to in organizing an AA once a week for the spring court. And autumn quarters could do it also.
Okay. Rose will nod. All right.
He writes down the name Delilah and an address. Johnny knows who this is.
Delilah. Oh my God.
Lighting a cigarette, okay? Claudio's lighting a cigarette. Just light.
Now, this
down.
Yeah, she thinks about the amount of wine that she consumes on a daily basis and is like, AA, okay. Sure, I won't be attending. Sure. I'll organize it. Sure. Just drink around Jeremy.
Why not?
Local therapist, if she would be willing to do this. Because I'm sure Mr. Jeremy here, when he has that urge, would love to have someone to talk to.
Oh,
Jeremy smiles and nods. Yeah, absolutely. I would love that.
Will warn you, Delilah knows what we are, but she is not a changeling, and she does not speak a lot of English herself, but she understands it perfectly. French is a little hard on her.
What language does she speak, Rose?
She speaks broken English, Latin.
What is her native?
and her native is French.
French. Okay. Jeremy nods, says, "Raise your hand. I speak French. Fine."
Oh, of course you do. Claudio says, of course you speak French.
She looks over at Claudio and she's like, Mr. Donati, is there something else you want to say to our new high sirs?
Yeah, Jeremy's just looking at Claudia like, what the fuck is your problem, man? Like,
No.
By the way, Rose totally hears Rosu mumbling into her cup, I would totally call you daddy, while sipping her own cup.
Oh, God. Wow.
Of course, Claudio and Rose, Claudio probably heard that mumble too.
Check your PMs, Denica. You'll see what your problem is. The Queen would probably know this, actually.
Oh, God.
I know out of character.
I know now. Oh, this is great because I also use that picture for an NPC he has not met yet. So this is going to be even great as he plays at Salem.
Oh, he just shakes his head. No, I'm fine.
So I guess my only other questions would be, do you have an established place to live set up yet?
He nods. I do. Yes.
Do you mind communicating with people who are not lost like us or of other courts or even courtless?
Not at all. That is my job as High Seers.
Okay, well, the Spring King's oldest daughter is a mage.
Okay.
Spellcaster, whatever you want to call it. She tends to
Claudio just puts his head down.
She tends to come and help around the court, especially when we lose control of Lucio. Because
I don't think it's gonna be a problem for him.
Okay.
It isn't. I think that I will get along with Lucio Vargas very, very well.
She's just smiling and she kind of gets up and she goes, well,
Rose is holding on to Claudio's hand very tightly and just
task would be
I think they are breaking each other's hands right now.
I think they are, yep.
well, after you're settled in, she hands Jeremy a business card. You should come meet me at this address so we can talk more. I make sure I know every court member thoroughly. Rose's now just face palming so hard.
Claudio just
catching your meaning correctly. I would like to mention to you that you will not ever get anywhere with me. I am extremely gay.
She starts laughing. She goes, it does sound kind of sexual how I talk, huh?
Absolutely, yes.
I do not have sex with my court members.
Oh, that is such bullshit. He just stops himself.
She looks at Claudio, excuse me?
He'll raise his phone. John McCain died. It's bullshit. He was a great American hero.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so sad, Rose will say.
Just Rose raises her hand and she goes, I can vouch. My mom hasn't had sex in like 12 years. She hasn't even been on a date in that long.
You know you have sage escorts in your court, Rose will say.
She chuckles. She goes, I don't feel like sex has any use if it's strictly physical.
Not okay.
Romancer.
Shining example for us all, Your Majesty.
Yes.
She smiles at Claudia. And may you and Miss Rose be blessed with many happy years and offspring.
Working on it right now.
She nods. Yep, we are.
She kind of looks between all of them. Well, there's also plenty of space here in the Spring Freehold if you ever want a different place to live or just an office to set up here. You're free to use really anything that's not already furnished.
Yeah, Jeremy will nod and say, yes, I would absolutely love an office in the freehold. It would make my job 10 times easier.
Well, my daughter Rosu will happily go shopping today and furnish it for you since she thinks she can call you daddy. She's like, you heard that?
I mean, in a non-sexual way, sure. I don't care.
The young girl is tapping her fingers on the table next to Rose. Have to die some
He
moment.
just starts talking in Italian.
Poor Claudia.
Rose looks over at Rosu, and she takes her hand and squeezes it
She's
gently.
gonna summon him.
And she says,
Rose,
child.
like, very gently, just like doing circle motions with one finger across Rose's palm.
She looks to her and to Rosu, and she's like,
She looks back. You have
well,
soft skin.
huh?
You have very soft skin.
Thank you.
I should get back to school. And her mom's like, yes, I'm not paying $200K a year for you to dilly-dally around the freehold.
Yes, you should get to school. So let her hand go and shoo her away. Go.
Girl murders. Half a year left and I'm a graduate with a master's. As she walks out. What can you do with them? What can you do without them? Is all the queen says. So, enjoy your stay. If you go in the woods or the parks, I would stick on the very clearly marked paths, she says to Jeremy. I mean, you hairy women with bad attitudes.
So, yes, you fucking talked about him enough.
Oh, God.
He shows up.
Oh, no, I have the best thing ever. As soon as he shows up, the queen excuses herself and leaves.
He'll spread his arms. What? No love for me. No love for me. You leaving me? ¿Por qué?
Behind him, though, he gets shoved very hard.
He'll look.
Give me one moment. I'm sure Rose is enjoying the view of watching Lucio be shoved onto his face.
I mean, no, not really.
I have to lie to
She goes, ouch.
He'll look up at her. Hija, ¿por qué?
Papa.
¿Por qué?
She steps over Lucio and walks to Rose and them.
Whap! He whaps her ass.
She looks back. Only my husband is allowed to do that, Father.
I made you. I can tap it. Pop up.
She looks at Claudio and she set a bottle of aspirin in front of him.
He takes more than is probably safe, but can heal later.
Rose looks at him and is like, what are you doing?
Killing myself slowly before the court has its chance to. He'll nod.
She pouts out her lip. So what? You're gonna die and leave me alone pregnant?
I already made you the beneficiary on my life insurance.
Okay. I actually only came here to drop off this. It's a bag on the table of like random food and snacks. Because knowing my father, at least one of his addictions, which should be food, which is the safest, should be fed.
He'll like scoot over while on the floor, like just ass scoot over to her and wrap his arms around her leg.
She's giving him the cold shoulder.
Mírame, hija. Mira.
See?
Your grandfather wants to know why you don't love him anymore.
I do love him.
¿Por qué you haven't gone by the house to say hi to him?
Yes, I did. I was just there earlier today.
Oh, well, then you don't visit him enough because he was whining about it. Me, I don't say a lot. And he doesn't come, she don't see me no more ever since she had the babies.
She rolls her eyes. I had one kid. And it's like you have 2 kids. You don't visit very often.
I have 1 child and then 2 who were taken from me. There's a whole fucking different story.
So, are all of you my father's babysitters or just one of you?
Only, so you, I should tell you.
Yeah, Jeremy goes over to Lucio and wraps an arm around him.
He'll get up.
She raises an eyebrow.
Boy. You.
She reaches over and takes the aspirin back from Claudio and pops it to them.
Yeah, Rose will take a couple of those too. Like, God, fuck.
He nuzzles Jeremy. Like, look what I found.
Yeah, Jeremy will nuzzle him back.
Oh, God. Fucking her attitude she got from Lucio's kicking up in my head. She looks Lucio dead in the eye. How long is this gonna last?
Mira, this one's made of metal. If I hit him, it's gonna hurt.
Jeremy nods. Yep.
He'll hit back.
Witches.
He's aware.
And I will hit back. Yes.
He'll hit back. This bitch will slit my throat in my sleep. He's already warned me twice.
That's not what I meant, and you know it.
I'm not going to cheat on him.
She looks at Claudio. You want to make a bet?
Stop. I'm not making a bet this time. That one looks like my ex. He'll point at Jeremy. When you sent pictures, it didn't convey that you look like my ex. Tell me he doesn't look like Maurice.
Yes, he looks like Maurice. As all Dawn says. Plain, matter of fact, beautiful, wet, shirtless Maurice.
Rose will raise an eyebrow and look at Jeremy.
Like both Lucio and Claudio moan. Finally, they have something in common.
God.
She hands a key to Jeremy. It's a storage key.
He'll take it.
Do not give him any of his belongings back until you think he's ready for them.
Oh yeah, I'm living with Papi now. Papi moved into my old house. I have a new house, and Papi moved into it, and that's where I live.
Oh, she shakes another key. So you don't want my old house?
No, I don't want your old house. Your old house is tainted.
I
got my own house. Thank you. ... I don't need you.
I don't want this house anymore. And you're with the Autumn Court. Your guys can deal with this. To the kid.
What, are we just playing pass the house around? Give it to Ferran.
She looks at him. I would not curse Ferran with dealing with the dead my father put in that house. Not you.
Yeah. I was like, what?
The man I thought was my father before you came along. Oh, by the way, you know where Mom is working now?
Where's she working? At the diner?
No.
Oh, where? Wait, which mother? God, I fucking have problems. Oh my God, wow.
Mother. My birth mother, or as you put it, the only woman you ever loved.
That's not the only woman I ever loved. The only woman I ever loved. Okay, don't worry about it. He'll just shake his head.
My birth mother is working at Tassels and Hassles.
You mean my baby's mama was working at a strip joint?
Not Lynn. Not the one you were ever married to. My mother is working there, yes.
That would be my baby mama.
I don't know how many baby mamas you have, Dad.
Neither do I.
Or it's all she says.
Jeremy, like, don't judge me.
No, Jeremy shakes his head. He's like, no judgment here. Fine.
I could tell you some stories, Jeremy, is all she says.
Oh,
Mírame. Mira, hija, I chose an elemental for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
He snaps at her.
She uses her finger to light the cigarette.
So, by now, Jeremy... This is funny because Rose is only like 5 foot... What did I say? She's like 5'7", 5'8" without heels.
Yeah.
Jeremy is over 6 feet tall. He's like 6'2".
And Dawn is 5'10", so
And Jeremy is sitting in Rose's lap, just watching this.
Lucio managed. Not Lucio, I'm sorry. Lucci managed to get popcorn from the bag. He'll open it up, pass it.
They take it.
Mira mi hija tranquila, okay? I'm okay. I haven't done a single drink. You know how long I've been sober?
a male voice from near what looks like her chest cavity says, "Not long enough."
Oh my god.
See, even my prince judges you. And she inhales again on the cigarette.
You know what? Your prince can lick my dick, okay?
The male voice goes, "I would, but you're taken."
I know, right? He'll just get a dreamy look on his face and bats his eye.
I'm sure Rose is giggling at that line of "Don't say that while you're inside me."
He'll hold his hand out for Jeremy to
Rose
touch his fingertips. Like, touch my fingertips, love.
He reaches out and touches them.
Yay.
So,
I know this is hard for you to understand and believe, but I'm a changed man. I want a better life. Can you have some faith in me? Please.
the look she's giving Lucio, it is totally the Vargas grandpa look.
It is totally the Vargas lip bite.
She goes through her purse. She pulls out a map and hands it to Jeremy. Ask me again next year, when you've been at least clean for a year. That map will lead you to where I hid his car. Basically, she's saying she trusts Jeremy right now than her own dad.
So Jeremy will take it and he'll nod and he'll tuck it in his jacket pocket.
So, I hear Monsieur Rose, right? Pointing at her.
She nods and gives a little wave. Yep, that's me.
So what kind of school is everybody at the bar saying you're opening? Because I wouldn't mind applying. I need something better hours than waitressing.
Do you have teaching experience? Or do you want to?
Actual school setting, but I have been teaching off grounds.
She'll nod. Do you have other experience besides waiting tables?
I own and run a store also. It just doesn't make a lot of money.
She'll nod. I'm sure we can find something for you to do. It's a boarding school. There will be all kinds of positions that will need to be filled.
She does the Vargas lip chew. She's trying very hard not to do it.
Rose just laughs like, oh my god. Not those kinds of positions, dear.
My father slipped out a little bit there.
I'm sure he did.
He's just sitting back on a cigarette looking up.
I'm sure Claudia is face deep in popcorn going, "Why am I here?"
No, he knows exactly why he's here.
I've also worked in security before. I know firearms, fire survival, hand-to-hand combat, and blade.
I just noticed something. I'll write it down. I can't unsee it now.
What?
How Claudio's reaching over and Lucio's laying under him.
It makes it look like it's Lucio's hand that's dropping the thing because of the position of the arm.
Oh my god, it does.
I'm too amused by your
Oh my god, now I can't unsee it either. Shit. So
I've also got a little bit of training in music and computers.
Rose will nod. Yeah, go ahead and apply, and yeah, we'll see where I'll figure out somewhere to put you. I'm very sure.
She'll grin. Wow, I definitely will. She'll lean over and kiss Lucio on the forehead, and she goes, "I have to go home and ride a dragon now. Bye." You're just bad because he picked me over you. Is all she says as she closes the spring gate.
Oh my god.
Jeremy will get up and go over and sit on Lucio's lap.
You remember how I said that you look like my ex?
Uh-huh.
You have a twin. No, he has a twin? You look like his ex. I'm pointing over at Claudio. Claudio
so
just
Rose's
nods.
jaw will drop. Well, that's a little awkward, isn't it?
Claudio will say after I left my wife, I was with Emil Rose for a bit.
Because of course you were.
She furrows her brow. That name sounds familiar.
You look exactly like Emil Rose, Claudio says.
Jeremy's brows go up.
His brother looks a little bit different. A little younger and kind of more wolfish. But if somebody told me you were Emil Rose, I would have believed them.
Well, apparently you thought I was when I first walked up to the gate.
Let that be a sign of what my reaction would be if I saw him.
Not a good one.
Odd.
Rose will chew her lip. I didn't even realize that. I'm sorry.
As you guys were talking, a wizened drudge. She's dual kith, but she's an antiquarian judge, so well, not antiquarian, whisper wisp. Sorry. Will come over and she will begin just clearing the empty dishes off the table without saying a single word.
I think we need to take the Claudio will say oath of motley ship now, don't we?
Both Jeremy and Rose will nod. Yeah, we should do that.
Lucio nods.
Jeremy, Claudio, and Rose will all notice she does not meet Lucio's eyes at all. She does not even speak unless spoken to by one of you four.
He'll sit up. Lucio will sit up and kind of hug Jeremy. I haven't been in a motley actually for a very, very long time.
Jeremy will nod. Rose and I talked about forming one in Miami, but we never got around to it, so I'll smile.
Claudio looks over at Lucio like, I can't believe I'm about to make a fucking motley with you. And Lucio is like, it's just so you can keep a better eye on me. We both know it. I'll shrug and nod.
Is there anything else you require? The wizened asks.
Rose will shake her head. No, thank you. Thanks.
Lucio shakes his head no.
Jeremy shakes his head.
Even though she has a spring mantle, though, you will notice it got a little chilly when she was around before she left. Which is a reference to something Johnny knows about.
Claudio holds a finger up and looks a little dizzy for a second and blinks and then heals himself. There's the aspirin. There it was. There it was. Got it. And I'll just shake his head.
So pretty much these freehold you can keep hanging out at. You'll see the the wizened comes and goes. She'll serve drinks. A couple people don't even acknowledge her. The few that do is just to yell at her if she got the order wrong or something. Lucio and Claudio would notice her full mantle rating, which is a 3 for spring court. And you will notice she even tends to the flowers. She'll like water them, trim the leaves, etc. Like real easy minor chores.
Jeremy would know too, and Jeremy's own mantle is 4.
Oh yeah, he is spring court. Okay. I for some reason was thinking he was winter court.
Oh, why would he be high Circe of the spring court if he was?
I don't know. I had a complete brain fart there.
So they will take the oath of the motley, I imagine?
Yes.
Yay!
They are a motley now called the Hemlocks.
I'm going to have so much fun making things up about this. As the scene ends and you guys go your separate ways, which I assume Claudio and Rose are going home, Jeremy and Lucio are going to their home.
Yes.
The little wizened lady will pull out her phone, text someone, look around, put her phone away, and the scene will end with her going inside.